Go.
We're
Go.
waiting.
God damn it, just stop it for a second. No, restart it, and then how's it?
I'm not deleting this.
3, 2, 1, go. You like waited a second.
No, I'm not.
Wait, are you still going?
It's going on right now. I just started it.
Alright, what's up, guys? No, fuck. Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to one podcast. We're here playing games, music, and politics. Here, just Andrew, Discord, and some kids.
Alright, so the game that we're going to be talking about is Assassin's Creed Origins. And why is the game so bad? So who wants to start us off today?
I will call.
Alright, so I mean the game is like, well, I've played the entire game. I've done every single object, side mission, collectibles, and I spent about 80 hours in total. I did enjoy most of my time in the game, but like, I know that sounds like that's odd because I did spend 80 hours in the game. So it must have been fun, but it means part of the game. I mean, part of the game was fun, but yeah, it was part of the game was fun. Mainly the stealth and the AI's missions and stuff. That is the best in the series. The narrative sucks. I mean, it was kind of rushed. I started skipping side missions, cutscenes because the mechanics, they were just so boring. Running around was fun. Horizon Zero Dawn is an example of good running, but Assassin's Creed Origins is not. Just Mandarin, what do you think about this?
I agree on most of the stuff, but when you get to those higher levels and you get better gear, and you just go higher and higher in the ranks, that's when it starts to peak at the boringness.
Yeah, I mean that's it kind of just brings you to the worst part of the game, like, you know. She didn't really learn anything in the story mode. It was just silent, you know. I mean, it would have worked better if it was probably just taking place in Egypt, you know. Like no anonymous know that. Her content was like boring and dull. You know what I mean? The ending was stupid and it felt forced. Like, oh, the eagle fell into the sand and that's how I got her symbol. You know, and that all weapons pretty shit. Uh-huh.
Which I hate. It's odd because the end game you actually have
Yeah.
you can buy, but no revenue.
I mean, I fought the gods and the war elephants. It was just like very boring. It just felt like fake, if you know what I mean, in that sense. It's better to actually just run away, like, you know?
Well, to just something.
I mean, the 3 dodge limit is kind of stupid because there's so much time to recover animation. They could have just added a little bit, like a stamina bar, which would have worked if they had done a purely Egyptian narrative. Like, Horizon did a better in one game than the entirely of the AC franchise. Like, they eliminated cool Assassin's Creed assassin animations, like multiple assassins, made a double kill into a weird stab fastball combo, kept the shitty syndicate enemy level system. I get it, but I don't care what level of soldier guard is. A stab in the throat is death. That pulls me out of the game so much. Like, I stab him in the neck or stab him in the head and he'd still have like half health. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Like in other games like Horizon, like 1 or 2 hits you're dead. It's just like the game is just really like off, you know what I mean? Worst of all, however, is they completely eliminated any meaningful world buildings. You can't recruit help, build a base. Fuck, like you don't even get to use your own home. Why? Because you can't hawk shitty Helix credits if you give players a fun way to earn gold. Like that just pisses me off. This is the future of Ubisoft live services, aka aka endlessly sell you features that were included previous entries. They've made Assassin's Creed so many years ago, and those were great when they had barely had any knowledge, and all of a sudden they're getting new people and they're making the game more shittier than it already was. Like, Like, mark my words, Far Cry 5 has gun upgrades and unique locked behind extravagant in-game prices that can be circumvented via UB bucks. And in, what is it called? In Assassin's Creed Origins, there's nothing like that. Like, it just makes no sense, and it like really pisses me off. I just like feel like that they had so much time to make the game. They should have just taken their time to make the game instead of it just felt like they rushed the game so much. Like,
Kyle, there's other people. You know that, right?
oh, my bad. I mean, it's been a good game in all. I own every major Ubisoft released and season pass since Assassin's Creed 1, but it's just Assassin's Creed Origins is the end for me. Like, the buck stops here. I'm not gonna keep spending money on Assassin's Creeds that are just gonna be more worse than like previous ones. Like, what's the point of spending $60 for shitty ass ones? Like, Assassin's Creed Syndicate was like way better. They took more time in it. They had more endings, which is a completely better game.
Well,
Podcast.
I really hope they don't repeat that for the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, that one looks like a fun game.
By the trailers, it looks like they're doing something good by bringing back the Hidden Blade.
Like, I mean, Valhalla sounds like it's going to be a very good game, but like that's what happened to Assassin's Creed Origins. Everybody thought it was going to be like the best thing, and it turned out to be just completely like nothing. So you can't really trust it, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see.
Wait and see. At least they brought back the Hidden Blade.
Hopefully they have like actual good animations, because in Origins the animations were just complete shit. I mean, like, after taking a year from its annual release schedule, Assassin's Creed Origins marks the return of Ubisoft's absolute dog shit game. Like, when I think of Assassin's Creed Origins, I just think of like bad animations. Like, it's just like not real in my opinion.
Well, if you look in the Assassin's Creed Valhalla trailer, the gameplay trailer, there's an animation where he kills a guy with a hammer.
Yeah.
He like
I mean,
trips him and smashes his head.
Like, I've been a fan of Assassin's Creed since its first entry back in like 2007, 2008. In the 10 years since, the series has established a variety of pillars that distinguished it among its open world peers. Elegant combat, crafted assassinations. But when they got to like, I mean, like, Odyssey was like, it was a good game, but it had its ups and downs. And then like before Odyssey, they had like Syndicate, and that was a great game. And then like when they went to Odyssey, it kind of yeah, like it kind of just slowed down. It slowed down, but when they just made Origins, it was just like, what is this? Like, it didn't seem like an actual Assassin's Creed for me. It just seems like a ripoff. Like, I'd rather. Yeah, like the only probably good thing about the game was like how the graphics were probably the best thing in the game. Origins just fails to represent the core aspect of the franchise. That doesn't mean it's a bad game, it's just a bad Assassin's Creed game. Like, the franchise is still amazing, probably one of my favorites. It's just, Origins should just be deleted. Like, there's no point of having the game. It's just absolute dog shit. Like, the costumes, the costumes or uniform that the guy wears, it's just like, it literally looks like some like a little kid made it. But I don't know, like, it's just like a very terrible game. Like, people could disagree with me, but mainly it's just like people could disagree and stuff. But I would just have to stick with it's a shitty ass game. People shouldn't play it or consider spending money on DLCs and shit like that, because that just makes no sense. It's just a bad game, you know. And we've got some more details coming up. You know, it's just like I'm just trying to like still come in my head of why the game is just so bad. Like, this is especially hard to swallow coming from Syndicate, which features clever and satisfying unique kills for your major targets. These multi-step special assassinations were optional, but were to players who wanted particularly dramatic takedowns, like using a rope to pull an actor up in a theater's rafters, or masquerading as a dead body to take out a doctor. The Infiltration in Origins does not have the set piece flair of Syndicate, nor do they have the careful puzzle like planning the earlier titles, because the targets that aren't scripted boss fights don't receive any special treatment. They just kind of like hang around, like, you know what I mean? Like, just the animations are all in all just really bad. Like, like, might as well play the Forest. Like, literally, it's the same fucking thing. It's more interesting. Like the assassins. Like the assassinations might be more Catholic if I cared about the villains. Origins doesn't dangle compelling antagonist in front of you like Haytham Kenway, Crawford Sterrick, or all that gay enemies like Boreas or previous installments. Instead, it takes a kill him as you go approach, introducing like. It has no backstory. Like, you just go fight the boss, you kill him, you move on. Fight the boss, kill him, you move on. Like, it doesn't have a story to it. So what are your thoughts on this?
Well, to wrap it all up, then to end off the podcast, Far Cry is better. Just play Far Cry.
I mean, hold up. Last thing, another big shift in the Origins is the combat, which now
Jesus
leans more
Christ.
toward modern action RPGs like The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, and Horizon Zero Dawn. They focus on dishing out light, heavy attacks using a varied arsenal of like animations that are just really bad and weapons that are just, you know, I just don't see anybody using them. Just play Horizon or Far Cry. Just play those games.
The last major issue is, in Odyssey you could ride on a statue with a bare dick.
And I mean, it's just Odyssey has a better story. You know what I mean? Alright, that wraps up the podcast. Hope you enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Every Sunday.